Adding in binary is as easy as 1, 2, 3. They are the only binary numbers you need to know. If you don't know those numbers, you're probably better off finding out and then coming back. But here's a quick recap. Okay, so let's look at the binary number for 1. So that's number 1. Let's have a look at the binary number for number 2. So it's 1 lot of 2 and nothing else. It's binary number for 2. 3 would be a 2 and a 1. 2 plus 1 would. 2 plus 1 is 3. And that's it. Okay, so let's see how that works when we are adding together. When I'm adding in binary, I always just use the denary, the decimal number that I say out loud. And then because we're only dealing with 3 binary numbers, I just convert it in my head. Let me show you. So 0 plus 0 is 0. Fine. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is all exactly the same until we get to here. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now the binary number for 2 is 1, 0. We cannot write 1, 0 in one of these boxes. If you imagine one of these boxes as being a memory location that will only store 1 unit, 1 digit, we can't write 2 in there. They're not designed for that. You can only write 1 in there. So this is how we would write it. If we've got 1, 0, because there isn't space in the box, just like when you're adding 9 plus 9, you would carry the big number. So what we are going to do is we're going to carry this 1 up here and then write the 0 in the box. Now you're going to have to excuse my drawing with a mouse. So we would carry the 1 there and then we would put the 0 there. All right. And I'll show you how to deal with that in a little bit. Let me show you the other scenario that we need. We need a 1 plus 1 plus a carry. All right. And if you understand this one, then you've nailed it, but I'll show you it on the next sheet. I'll show you some more complicated ones. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, because we're adding the carry to it, in this case, is 3, which is 1, 1. As I said before, you cannot do that. You can only write 1 number in the box, just like you would if you're adding up decimal numbers. So we would carry the number on the left, the most significant bit, the biggest number. We would carry that and put the least significant bit, the one on the right, in the box, which is the same thing if it's ones, isn't it? So we would carry the 1 there, and and then we would write that down there. Let me show you how that works when you are doing sums. So we're going to add these two numbers together. I've put a little hint on the right hand side here. Hopefully my head from the webcam isn't in the way. I can't quite see that at the moment. We start from the right to the left, again just like we would if we're adding decimal numbers. So 0 plus 0 is 0. Fine. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So how do we write 2? We write it as 1, 0. So 1 on the left, then a 0. Okay. 1 is the most significant bit. It's the larger of the two numbers. So 1, 0. So how do we do that? We carry the 1 and then we do the 0. Okay, 0 plus 0 plus the carry, which was 1. 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 again. So that's 1 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then we've got 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. Which is 1, 1. And there we have it. That is every scenario that you need to deal with when adding binary numbers. There are two very important things to note here. The first important thing to note is, what do we do with this thing here? This is called an overflow. When you normally add decimal numbers, you would just carry this down and write it down there. But you will notice that this is the area for the sum. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits in our word length. So there's no room for this one to be stored. Okay, so this value, this answer here, is going to be an inaccurate answer. So the way that you would deal with this is irrelevant to GCSE level. All you would need to do is say that you've got an overflow error. Okay, this is your answer, and you would write that down, and you would say that you've got an overflow error. The second thing to be careful of is the question may well ask you to write the answer out in a certain number of bits. So if it asks you to write the answer out in 8 bits, you must write out 8 numbers. And if you haven't got enough, just put zeros on the left. So here, if we were asked to write this out in 8 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, that works, doesn't it? If we were asked to write it out in 7 bits, this is what we would write out. Okay, so keep an eye on that, because you are going to lose marks if you do not write it out in the correct number of bits. And that's all there is to it when it comes to adding binary numbers. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 in a bit.